Welcome to another edition of Lightest and Best, where we look at the lightest and best knives from a variety of manufacturers. And today we're going to visit the Reate company, and they make the Wave knife, which is their lightest and best offering. Chinese knives generally, and Reate specifically, tends to make only large, heavy knives, but they broke the mold in their production bias whenever they made the Wave because this is a much lighter, more svelte knife. It's a company who belongs to David Deng. It's a high-quality Chinese knife manufacturer. The Wave was designed by Solo Jack. This is the only Reate knife less than 5 ounces, and at 3.76 ounces, it's around an ounce and a half lighter than any other knife that they produce. Let's talk about the specifications. The blade length is 3.375 inches. And the handle is 4.25 inches, giving a total knife length of 7.625 inches. The weight is 3.76 ounces. I have some other knives for comparison. We'll look at the Shirogorov Neon, which is very similar both in handle style and blade shape, which is very similar in size. We'll look at the Benchmade Osborne 940, which is a little bit larger, I believe. And then the Strider PT, which is a little smaller. And then the Southern Grind Spider Monkey, which is, I'm going to say, approximately about the same size. The blade of the Wave is a stone-washed M390 steel. It has a full flat ground and a drop point blade. There's no swedging and no jimping on the posterior spine. The show side has the maker's mark of Reate, and the clip side has the designation of the blade steel, which is M390. The sharpening ricasso was perfectly placed beyond the plunge line, which gives a fine edge all the way to its base. The method of deployment of the knife is by flipper. It flips fine, flips fast. The flipper is neutral to a little ahead of the pivot, and it has some mild jimping, which gives you traction without hurting your finger. The handle is a skeletonized titanium, and they skeletonized it to reduce the weight. I'll see if I can get some light in there and show you guys. There you go, and I'll post a picture also in the corner of the screen so you can see what love they took on skeletonizing both the scale and the show side. The overlays are gold blue titanium, and they have screwing from the inside. You can tell the tip of the screws are here, and then again on this side. They're beautifully anodized gold and blue. The knife has a flow-through design with a small back spacer. The back spacer has a gear pattern and jimping for reverse hold, and also, for those of you who like lanyards, has an integrated lanyard into the back spacer. Inside the back spacer is the lot number of the knife. This one says 342 of 500. Apparently there were only 500 made of this particular model. The pivot uses captive ceramic ball bearings, and on the pivot screw, a Torx T9 is used on both sides of the pivot. The lock bar has a hardened steel insert, which also functions as an over-travel stop. This knife is distinct in that it has 2 over-travel stops. There's an over-travel stop on the hardened steel lock bar insert, and then the decorative scale of titanium on the clip side also functions as an over-travel stop. The pocket clip is a 3D milled titanium clip and is held in place by blind screws from the interior. It has a nice ramp and good retention. The action of the knife is really smooth and really good due to the captive ceramic bearings. It doesn't free fall, but it can easily be shaken into place. So what are my impressions about the Reate Wave? I love it. Are there opportunities for improvement? Possibly. For example, on the overlays of titanium, they internally screwed the titanium. However, the screw heads, the tips of the screws are showing here. I think it would have been better if they could have covered these with titanium. It would have been nice to have hidden the screw heads. But what do I like about the knife? I love it that they use such high quality materials. They use titanium for the handle scales and M390 for the blade. M390 has become one of my favorite steels of all times. And both the pocket clip and the titanium handle overlays have internal screws. It's a very well put together knife. And the ceramic ball bearings cause the knife to have a great flipping action. But if you look at the knife, you see a lot of detail work. Even on the handle scale, you have these diagonal milling work and then extensive milling work on the titanium overlays. A lot of love went into making this knife. So if you're looking for a higher quality Chinese-made knife that uses high quality materials and has a lot of detail work, the Reate Wave may be the knife for you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.